Alright, so hi guys, we are going to be moving on to a new topic in quadratics from here on out. So far we've been talking about the vertex, and just to give you a reminder, if this is my nice little pretty quadratic there, okay, the vertex is going to be the top point right there. Okay, so you should know how to find that. We've talked about that a lot. What we haven't talked about is how to find these little points right here. Now, those are the points where the graph intersects the x-axis. You can call those zeros, you can call them solutions, x-intercepts, roots, all of those means the same thing. We are going to be looking at how to solve these by hand and find those points today. So on your paper, you should have two examples, example A and B, and you should notice they look a little different. So you may notice a couple things. One of them is equal to 0 and one of them is not. The other thing you might notice is that one of them is definitely shorter than the other one. So we're going to focus on that one first. So example A here. So the first thing you should notice is x only appears once in this equation. Well, if x only shows up one time, what that means is that I'm going to be able to get x by itself fairly easily. So the first thing I would do there to get x by itself is start by adding 8. Okay? So then I have 7x squared equals 49. My next step there would be to divide by 7. And I get x squared equals 7. And I'm not quite done yet. X is almost by itself, but it still has that little squared there. My very last step is to say, well, how do I cancel out a squared? Well, by square rooting. And here's the step that everybody forgets. Whenever you square root something, there's a little symbol that you have to write. And it's this right here. It's a plus minus symbol. What that means is that when I square root something, my answer could be positive or it could be negative. So technically, I have two answers. That's why you're seeing those quadratics like the one I drew intersect the x-axis twice. So your final answers here would be, you can write it one of two ways. You can say plus or minus square root of 7, if you like it that way. Or you could also say here, x equals positive square root of 7, comma, negative square root of 7. Both of those mean exactly the same thing. Let's say that I had gotten a number here other than 7. Let's say that I had gotten the number 25. Well, I know that 25 has a square root, so then I would have said the square root of 25 is 5. But 7 doesn't have a square root, so right here, I'm done, and that right there is my answer. So this is called taking square roots. You're welcome to go ahead and start working on some of these on your notes. In the next video, we will talk about what to do with things like example B.